I'm Daniel, the past life regressionist, and it's time to begin.
Lift off and the clock has started.
This is Timeless Spirituality. Enjoy each of your time.
Hey there, this is Elle Embers, guest for this week's episode. Unfortunately, Daniel is experiencing some minor health and vocal issues, so he's asked me to fill in and record today's intro. He's also very sorry to relay that the show will be going on a 1-month hiatus as he takes the necessary time to recover and focus on his one-on-one sessions. So, mark your calendars and get ready for the return of Timeless Spirituality on Tuesday, March 14th. Any of his client sessions that were affected by his recovery process have already been contacted. So, if you haven't heard from him yet, your regression is still scheduled at its normal time. He'd also wanted me to share with you that the new Guess the Year song game, played at the beginning of the new episodes, has its origins based on our discussion in today's podcast. You'll see. He then wanted me to say, cool, yeah, he'll be back. With that being said, if you would like to book a regression with Daniel to discover who, when, and where you have been throughout time, you can reach him on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist or his website, thepastliferegressionist.com. And now, it's time to begin.
Elle, welcome to Time of Spirituality. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Auntie Elle. We'll touch on that later. Before we jump into the first question, you want to just introduce your podcast really quick? Let's just get in everyone's minds.
I host a podcast called Cosmic Curiosities, and what we cover basically is I meet and discuss with different practitioners that work in their chosen fields, and we discuss different holistic therapies and spiritual practices, and really kind of, we really kind of lean into our curiosities about it and just ask questions, find out more about it, and yeah.
So if you're curious, go and check out Cosmic Curiosities.
Yes, definitely.
I'm making dad jokes and I don't even have kids. Anyways, are you ready for the first question?
Yes, bring it. Let's do it.
What is your favorite song about time and why?
Music has been such a big part of my life, so it's really hard to, narrow things down to a favorite. But I ended up going with Hanging by a Moment by Lifehouse. Reason being was, this was a big song when I was, in growing up in my teens, and it really just reminds me to be in that moment, like be present, be trusting that things are going to work out. And yeah, and I mean, also just, it's those little moments in life that you really don't think much about at the time, but the more you're present, the more you realize that those moments looking back are the ones that you really remember and the ones that you really hold close. So yeah, it reminds me to be present and just trust.
You want to see something cool?
Absolutely.
So in the episode that I did with Leanne Rose called 6D, the Purpose of Being Human, Leanne talked about how I have some gifts that I don't talk about. So I'm going to share one of those gifts right now. Are you ready to see this?
Yeah.
All right, go pull up, let's just say Wikipedia.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
Okay, type in Hanging by a Moment.
Yes.
Okay, it was released in the second half of 2000. If we're going to get more specific, it would have been the fourth quarter of 2000, late third quarter, early fourth quarter. How am I doing so far?
Yeah, September. Yeah.
There we go. That's one of my gifts.
September 2000. peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100.
And that was in
Yep.
2001. And it was, I believe, one of, if not the biggest song of 2001, at least on the adult contemporary charts.
It says becoming the band's most successful single on the chart and the most successful song of 2001 in the US.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we'll just hold for applause. Like, that is amazing, dude.
Thank you. Yeah. I play games sometimes with people. It's called Beat Siri. Yeah, I have this thing where I can just remember useless facts like that, like when a song came out, when a movie came out, just things like that.
Hey, I mean, you know what? One day that will be the most useful thing. Like, could be life or death, and you just have the answer.
It's something I've been aware for a very long time, yet I've never used it as a cheap parlor trick until now. So, I mean, we could keep going, and we could be going for hours until you'd stump me. But let's just go out in the interview for now. So, who is Al?
That's a loaded question, isn't it? But I'm Australian, if you haven't already guessed by my accent. I am a spiritual practitioner. I mainly focus in tarot and soul map and past life regression, thanks to somebody. And I am a wife and I'm a mom, and yeah, that's pretty much me. And podcast host, Cosmic Curiosities, if you're curious.
So who's that somebody when you were referring to past life regression? Who is that somebody you're talking about? Thanks to somebody. Who? Let's give that person a shout out. Me?
Yeah, that is you.
Is it because I said I thought you'd be a great past life regressionist? Man, my ego is out of control today. Okay, let's reel this back in. And then you brought up the Time Lord thing, which is awesome.
Right. I just thought I'd just, throw it in there. Just to really,
LMAFO said it best. I'm sexy and I know it.
Right? Yeah, totally.
Wow. What has gotten into me today? Okay. Well, we're off to a great start. So, Elle, why is it that you wanted to have a past life regression?
Okay, why didn't I want to have a past life regression? Like, how could you not want to? Look, let's be honest here. I grew up kind of weird. So I had mediumship and psychic abilities from an early age, and I really didn't understand them, didn't know how to control them, and learnt pretty early on to suppress this out of fear and protection for, other people and myself. But I always kind of felt like I was in the wrong time. Like I was born too late. I was, I fit in a lot better with, the older spirits I was seeing than the people around me. And yeah, so, I mean, I always just felt like I had this really strong connection to the past. And, even Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies growing up. Like, it was
Keep talking dirty.
Right? It was all about time travel. It was all about, being in the past, going to the future, and I just felt such a strong connection to it. And I grew up in a household that really had a Buddhist type mentality. So reincarnation wasn't an unfamiliar topic, but it was something that, we didn't just really talk about to random people because it wasn't like an openly accepted thing. It was more taboo. My whole life was basically taboo by that point. We just kind of forgot about it. And it became a little bit of a joke for a while. Like, oh yeah, Elle was probably this in a past life. Like, that's why she knows this, or that's why she's like this. But I just had like super strong urges of deja vu, like all the time. And, with people, with places, with experiences. And it wasn't until adulthood I had a friend who had a session with you, and she kind of came out of her spiritual closet and was like, hey, I had a past life regression. And I was like, wait, what? Shut the fuck up. Like, this is a thing? Tell me more. How do I do this? Where do I go? And yeah, she led me to you, to Daniel. Kind of went for the journey from there.
Well, I'm glad she did, because it's been quite a journey with you so far.
Yeah. Big journey.
Everyone keep an eye on Elle, she's going to be a name that you guys know in the spiritual community. I'm making that proclamation right now. Seriously, keep an eye on this one. And just to show you how much faith I have, God, I'm setting the bar really high for her now. How much faith I have in her as a practitioner. She was sending me, I mean, right after her session, it's like, this person book, this person book, this person book. And I'm like, I think you should be a practitioner. So I'm forfeiting years worth of referrals. That's how much faith I have in her as a practitioner and as someone who's really going to be a force in this community and really going to have a voice that I think is needed, grounded, necessary, a little bit out there, but needed nonetheless. And when I say out there, it's a good thing. So keep an eye on this one. Check out Cosmic Curiosities.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And, I don't think I'd be where I am without your support. So, all the appreciation and love to you, dude.
Yeah, I'm just returning the favor, Auntie Elle. It's going to make sense later for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, before we dive into that, Back to the Future Part 1, 2, or 3. Go. What's your favorite?
It's 1. It has to be 1. Like, I know you're going to disagree with me, but...
Why do you think I'm going to disagree with you?
I don't know. I feel like you'd have a different opinion. Do you?
Yeah. I mean, my favorite
See,
is... My favorite's Part 2, but I appreciate 1 the most. I like Part 2 because of the complexities of it when they talk about the different timelines and if you travel to the past, the effect that it has on the future, because if you're traveling back from the future, no pun intended there. That's why I love Part 2, because it really opened my eyes up to time in a different way and made me think about time differently as a child.
Yes.
But Part 1 is just so special, though.
Yeah. I definitely feel like Part 2, especially as a kid, kind of introduces you to the fact that your choices do have consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So, the fact that, you did something in the past that's changed the future and so on, it really did kind of enforce that lesson there. But yeah, I just feel like the first one is just, I don't know, it just has such a special place in my heart that I'm like, it has to be my favorite. It has to.
I think the best decision that they made as filmmakers was just having it be this beautiful orchestra for the music. Because if you listen to it, yeah, there are some 80 songs and 50 songs in there when they're in the respective time periods. But other than that, that is timeless music. Because if they had synthesizers and any of the electronics that were popular at the time in the 80s, it wouldn't feel relevant now. But you can watch that movie now, at least Part 1, and you feel like you're just watching a kid from the 80s who's gone back in time. But it could apply now. It's, oh my God, it's so special. I love it so much. Someone recently asked me what my favorite 90s movie was. And I said, Back to the Future Part 3. And they said, no one likes that movie. I'm like, well, you asked me what my favorite 90s movie was. You didn't ask me what my favorite Back to the Future was. Because Back to the Future Part 3 came out in 1990.
Really?
Yeah, you want to see something cool? You still have Wikipedia?
Oh my gosh, you go to Wikipedia? Yep.
Yeah.
Hang on.
You ready? That was in May of 1990.
Hang on. I will verify. Give me 2 seconds.
And Elle can see me right now. She sees I'm not looking at anything or typing or doing anything like that.
Absolutely. Unless he has like this weird printed handout that like he just has sneakily on his desk. Fuck, dude, you're right.
Yeah. You ready for this? Part 2, November 1989.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
Was I right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for the trifecta. Part 1, or the original, was July of 1985.
Oh, hang on. No, I'm kidding. It was.
I was like, what?
But I had you freaking out for a second.
You did? Because wait, was it June 30th? Like, oh my God, what if it was June 30th? What if I completely just, yeah. Because then I would have been 66%. That's not good. But I got 100.
No, it was July 3rd. July 3rd.
Yeah, it was. It's a pretty cool trick, huh?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. If only. Okay. So today we're here to talk about Elle's past life regressions plural. And I just want to hand the floor over to Elle. Since there is a wide swath to explore, just whatever's coming up for you, and then we'll talk about it. So what came up for you?
Yeah, there's a lot to cover in that, isn't there? Well, I mean, I'm going to start from the start because otherwise I feel like things won't make sense and we might be jumping all over timelines. So, yeah, let's start off at the start. I think going into it, I was so excited for one. I never knew that finding or investigating my past lives was an option. So doing that was just a dream come true. And getting in there, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. It felt like, I don't know if everyone will remember this, but do you remember like Goosebumps books in like the 90s? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had like the choose your own adventures. That was like sort of what this was like. It was kind of like an interactive movie that was just playing in my head. And when I first stepped through this door, I was not expecting any of what happened. So I walked in, you told me to open the door, and it was a hotel room. And I stepped out and I'm like, okay, I'm in a hotel room and I'm looking for something, but what am I looking for? Like, where am I? What is going on? And yeah, it turned out that I worked there. I worked at the hotel, and a guest had requested me to go back to their room and retrieve an item for them. So I was looking around to find this item and found the item and went to take it downstairs to them into the lobby. And actually, sorry guys, side note, something really weird that happened was this sound came over as I walked out of the hotel room. Daniel's like, hey, like, can you hear that sound? And I was like, yeah, I can hear it. It's the baggage cart. The baggage cart's going down the hall. And he's like, wait, what? Like, no. On the outside, like, is that sound in your house? Is that sound outside? Like, what is that sound? And I was like, no. It's the baggage cart rolling down. He's like, hang on. The sound that I'm hearing right now is in your regression. And I'm like, yeah. And you're like, I'm going to pull you out for a sec and I'm going to call you back because I need to sort this out. And I was like, yeah, no worries, all good. And we came back, but that sound is like, I can't remember if it's on the recording or not, but I got like the weirdest sensation and chills listening to it.
Why don't I remember any of this?
I don't know. But to me, that was
I
like,
took you
oh my
out?
gosh. Yeah. Yeah, you took me out. We had to go out and come back.
Oh, no. I didn't take you fully out. I just had you open your eyes for a second.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I didn't count you back up, right?
No.
No, yeah, it was just having you. I was like, wait, what?
No, it was just like, we need your like alert consciousness for a second to sort out this technicality.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was
all
like,
right.
yeah, no, that's fine. All good. But it was just like the weirdest thing. And then once we went back in, the baggage cart wasn't moving anymore. So that noise didn't keep going. But I just thought it was such an interesting thing to like witness a sound in my regression that you could also hear. And, you know, it was, whether it was, you know, technology being ironic at the time, I don't know. But I just thought it was like really weird.
I'm stumped right now. I'm like, wait, have I jumped timeline? Again, I'm being facetious here for everyone. I have no recollection. Like, what? Here I am spouting off dates and times for these things that happen. I'm like, I can't remember this thing that happened a couple months ago when I don't think that's ever happened in a session for me. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Well, I mean, you know, this was back in April. This was a few months ago now.
As we're recording in August of 2022.
2022. Yeah. And I mean, dude, go back and listen to like just that first section because I can't remember if it's actually in the recording or not. I think it is, but I was so just not freaked out, but I was like, that is so weird. That
Because
is
I remember
so
the
weird.
sound. That I do remember.
Mm.
But I don't remember the other stuff.
Yeah. No, it was
Interesting.
like it was the baggage cart, and I was like, when when we finished and I like listened back to the recording and everything, I was like, oh, I remember this. Like that's so weird that what I was hearing was coming through this end. Like, yeah.
What's
Spooky.
weird about that for me, I think I've mentioned this to you before. I can't remember what happened in a session a couple days ago because once you just start doing so many of them, they just all. I mean, if I sit and think about it, I can remember. Like the first couple sessions I did back in 2016, I remember those as clear as day.
Mm.
I can remember every part of those sessions. Yet, the session I did
You'll
2 days ago, I'm like, hell if I know what happened in it.
They all just start blending together at one point. Like,
well, what's interesting is years I remember.
mm.
There's something about your set. Well, we know why for some of it, but
Yeah.
there are other parts of it that I happen to remember. And this one in particular is one that was very clear to me, except for the baggage cart. But okay, sorry for jumping in.
Why don't I remember this?
Because this is a very visual one. This is one that really leaves an impression on you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'll go back.
that was all me.
So
sorry guys. Elle, we'll go back now.
Yeah, so I found the item and I went out to the hallway, baggage cart, yada yada yada. And Daniel's like, okay, so like, are you taking it downstairs? And I was like, no, I'm standing in the hallway. And he's like, okay, like, why? What are you doing? And I'm looking at the bellhop guy leaving bags outside this door. And for some reason that was really weird. Like we didn't usually, that wasn't usually the process. Like he would take the bags into the room and he would leave them in the room. And for some reason I was just questioning, like, why is this, like, why is he not putting it in there? Why is he leaving it out the front? So I went and asked him and I'm like, what's the go here? And he's like, oh, I'm waiting for the key. I was like, oh, okay, no worries. Laters. I'm going to go in the elevator now, go down to the lobby. So I get in the elevator and the hotel manager's in the elevator. And he's asking me, like, oh, where are you going? And I explained to him, I'm going to take this item back to the guest that requested it. And he's like, well, here's the key for the room that the bellhop needs. I'll swap you. Give me the item. I'll take it back to him. You deal with the key and open up the room. And I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, this isn't, there was an off feeling about it, but I was like, okay, do what I'm told, follow instructions. And so I was like, yep, here's the watch, I think it was, and give me the key. So I go and open the room for the bellhop. We put the bags in, we go back downstairs, and I'm overhearing an argument in the lobby because the guest that had asked me to retrieve his watch was arguing with the hotel manager that I hadn't brought it down yet. And I'm like, hang on a minute. I gave you the watch. You said you were going to give it back to him, but you're claiming you've never seen this watch and I was supposed to bring it down. So he calls me over and basically accuses me of stealing the watch. And unfortunately, obviously, I lose my job. And I knew something was off. Like, I was like, why is he lying? Why is he saying he doesn't have it? Saying I never saw him in the elevator. Am I insane? Like, what is going on? And so once I was fired, I went to like wait at our staff entrance for him to come out to basically confront him. Be like, yo, what the fuck? And as I was waiting, the staff entrance was somewhat near the kitchen. So, there were deliveries coming and going, service staff finishing up for the day, and these trucks started to arrive. And I was like, okay, like deliveries, no worries. But instead of like delivering stuff, they were actually taking stuff. And I was like, this isn't right. Like, what is going on? And, there was some sort of like, I don't know, crime ring mafia thing happening. I don't know. Anyways, I ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time. And when I went to go and look at what these guys were taking and, the baggage they were taking, trying to look at what was in there, the manager caught me. And we ended up in this bit of a confrontation. And I ended up accidentally being killed in the freezer. We had a bit of a scuffle, and a meat hook was actually my ending, which is not what you would expect, not what I expected. And, this poor hotel manager guy, although it was an accident, he was not hanging around to help. So he quickly got out of there. Yeah. I guess, the process of dying in a past life, I thought would be a lot more traumatic than it was. I didn't feel any pain. I didn't, I wasn't upset. I wasn't, angry. I was just like, okay, this is what happens. So yeah, and we moved on to another life. It was all fine and dandy. In my second life, things kind of changed pace a little bit. So my second life, it was very Bridgerton picturesque, like very, noble families in Britain, in lush balls and parties. However, like that was not my scene. And I had hidden myself sort of in a greenhouse down on the property, just trying to avoid being set up with potential suitors, I guess, potential men that I was just not interested in. And my mother was trying to chase me down, find me in there, because there was a gentleman she was trying to set me up with. And I fucking hated this guy. Like, absolutely despised him. Like, he was just so egotistical and narcissistic. And that wasn't what I had in my plan. Like, my family, they seemed to have like a trading business. And I was like, yeah, cool. Like, I'm smart, I'm educated. Although I'm a woman, like, I'm going to step up. I'm going to be in this business, and I'm, going to be worth something because I'm going to make myself worth something. And being a woman, they're like, sit down, shut up. And you'll just marry who we tell you to marry. Anyway, this guy proposed, and I completely humiliated him. Completely just like chewed his ass out and was like, you're horrible. No, this is not happening. And he felt so embarrassed and so just thrown off his game that he was like, you'll regret this. Like, I will interfere, your family, no one will want to work with you again, etc. And my mother was just so angry at me. She was like, if you continue like this, no man will ever love you. But to me, none of that was important. I didn't need love from another man. I had enough love for myself. Like, I wanted to be valued. I wanted to be respected. And if I was going to enter a marriage, it was going to be one where I would have those things. And yeah, it just was not my cup of tea. So you did ask if we wanted to hang around, and I was like, no, it's fine. I've seen enough. Let's go. Let's move on. The third life we went into, I had a position of power. Like, I had a noble standing. I ended up marrying into foreign royalty. And at the time, during this regression, this person may be someone of notability. Like, people would know who she is, but I didn't. And at the time, none of that was relevant. None of it was important. And it was only, discussing it with a friend later on that she was like, I know who this is. And I was like, cool. I don't know what that means to me. But, I do believe, and I do have this mentality that we are a collective consciousness. So I believe that, maybe I was this person. Maybe I was part of this person. Maybe her experience was just something that I needed to see. I don't know. And we never will. Like, it's all theory. We can never prove it. But I just want to make that very clear that whoever you think this person was, it's not important. But I ended up marrying into foreign royalty, and I hated my husband. I, again, was smart and educated and really wanted to make a standing for women and, help women be more educated. And I just felt like my husband was just a shit fucking ruler. Like, I could have done a way better job than he could have. And I fought tooth and nail to get into a position where I could do more good. I could hold more power. I could make a difference. And we ended up full on like going to war with each other and basically just carnage. And in the end, he did turn over power to me, but I went through so much to get it. Like, I had a child that I didn't want, to secure my position, to secure my lineage, and, keep everything that if he did turn over power to me, no one could question it. So he did eventually turn over power to me, and I did do better things. But yeah, by the end of it, I was happy to die. Like, being royalty, it's not a happy experience. It's not something that you really want. For a position of power, I was able to do a lot of good, but I wasn't ever happy, and I didn't ever feel like I had the support and love that I needed. So I ended up having a younger sister in that life that died in like toddler ages, and she was my everything. So when I did eventually go to pass, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to be with her again, and that was what I was looking forward to. So I think, coming out of those 3 lives, I definitely had a toxic working relationship at the time, and I wasn't trusting my instincts. I wasn't trusting my intuition. I wasn't trusting what I knew was right. And I was just following orders. I was doing what I was told without questioning from that first lifetime. The second lifetime, I was, in my current life, I was lacking confidence. I was lacking the love for myself to really do what I wanted to do and follow my purpose. And in my third life, in this current life, I was fighting tooth and nail in that past life to get where I needed to be, to do what I needed to do to fulfill my purpose. And in this life, I just wasn't. I had so many
Your life is
limitations. Yeah, my life is Elle.
Okay.
I had so many limitations and restrictions that I just was not moving forward from. And having this regression and coming out of that being like, you know what? If I could do all these things in those lives, what the fuck is stopping me now? Like, I just wanted to go full steam ahead and press forward and do what I'm meant to be doing, which I feel like I'm on a lot better path now. But yeah, I guess also I say 3 lives in that experience, but there really was a 4th. But it kind of came in fragments. So during my higher self questions, there was conversations about other lives, and I wanted to see more, but I wasn't in a position where I was ready. So I kind of had a bit of an argument with my higher self. And they're like, yeah, you're not ready to see it. I was like, no, you don't tell me what I'm not ready to see. I will tell you what I'm ready to see. Give it to me. And so I kind of got these fragments of a past life where I was in like pagan Germany sort of times. And this is going to get a bit woo-woo for you guys. I'm sorry. But there was a child that needed my help. And I cared for this child so much. At this time, I was like, I don't know if this is my child. I don't know if this is someone else's child. All I know is that, I will do anything for this child, and he's sick, he's dying. I need to do something. And although, I didn't have the resources to really fix anything or save him, I had heard about different pagan rituals that may be some assistance. So I was like, look.
Uh-oh.
I was like, look, I have to do something. Let's give this a go. I ended up doing a bit of a ritual and opening a door to somewhere I really shouldn't have. And at this point in time, we didn't have all the information, but there was a deal made. So I made a deal with these beings or these entities from this other dimension that it was, a soul needed to die. A soul needed to die, and it was me or him. And I was like, okay, take me. I need him. He needs to be here. And so I sacrificed myself for this child, and it turned out that there was a lot more detail to go into, but that was the parts that it gave me at that time. And I left that regression just thinking, I need to know more about this. There's something more in that life. I need to find out more. And yeah, it kind of started an onflow of sessions.
Not all of them with me.
Yes.
I'm not holding a grudge.
Sure.
I know I'm not.
I guess I should explain why the Auntie Elle reference.
Mm-hmm. And it has nothing to do with the Wizard of Oz, even though it's Auntie Anne.
Yeah, right.
But that's what I'm thinking when I call related. You Auntie Elle. Yeah.
And yeah, we're not actually related. There's no history there, but in my second session with you, the first session, yes, we came into those fragments of another fourth life, and I did seek another practitioner in between having both sessions with you. And, we did dive a little bit more into that session, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't the full story. It wasn't the extent. And again, that just shows the importance of questions. So I learned a little bit more, and, how I got this portal open and how I was dealing with these beings, with these entities from another dimension, and how I was sacrificing myself for this child who was my nephew.
Also, P.S. I knew none of this because Elle didn't share any of this with me beforehand. She didn't. I remember her telling me that stuff came up during the session, but she never shared with me what came up.
Yeah. I thought, let's not share this. Let's go and see what happens the next time we have a session. But through the fragments, you did realize that you were there. Well, we did realize that, but we weren't sure of the relationship. We weren't sure of how this all went about. And so coming into...
Sorry, one other quick thing with that. When she's talking about the fragments from the first session, I pictured something... For some reason, I was picturing a dude. Mm-hmm. I was picturing yourself as a dude and more as a teacher figure. But that wasn't it, was it?
No. But interestingly enough, I did... Oh my God, I haven't shared this with you. So interestingly enough, through... Guys, we're going to we'll come back to this. But interesting enough, through the higher self questions of the second session, there was the question of, has this been repeated? Has this happened in other lives? And it was, yeah, it had. And there were fragments that had come through of other lives, similar experiences. So there were different gender role swappings and, time period swappings where similar things had happened. So it may have been that your representation of that was one of those. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm left in the dark in a lot of stuff.
Well, I just think, like some of the stuff I go, yeah, cool, I'll share this with you. And then some of the stuff I'm like, oh, that's not really relevant. Like I'm sure that'll come up in our next session. Like
It's fair
I'm
enough.
sure.
It's a fun
Yeah.
surprise for me, anyways.
But yeah, so I mean, we did figure out in this particular scenario that, you were there and experiencing my session with this other practitioner, I did find out that you were my nephew. However, I don't think I shared this with you until like our session the other week. But I knew that you weren't my child. So it was like, the
What do you mean? You didn't share with me, the higher self did.
higher self bit.
Yeah, the higher self was the one that told me I was the nephew. You didn't tell me shit.
That's right. True. Yes.
I sound so crass right now. This is how comfortable I am with Elle. With Auntie Elle.
Oh, yeah, no, the higher self did tell you that. That wasn't me. My bad.
By the way, I
Getting it
recommend
there.
anyone going into a past life regression, tell your past life regressionist everything before
Yeah.
give them as much to work with as possible.
Right.
Although it was a fun challenge, though.
Because I mean, when I did come back to having my second session with you, I revisited the same life. So the same life that in the first session I got fragments of as a fourth life, the same session that I had with this separate QHHT practitioner. And then again, so as soon as we got there, you're like, so where are you? And I was like, fuck, dude, like, don't ask me this question. I know exactly where I am. I know what I'm wearing. I know what's happening. Why do I have to explain this? Please don't make me explain what is going on. But, that's the process. And, also we have to catch you up on a few things. So, with that experience, I had already, this was the last life I was going into as my second session with you. The first two, no, sorry, it wasn't. It was the second life. So the other two, the first one I had.
Oh, yeah, the third one.
Yeah. I was like, oh, wait. The first one, apparently I don't have siblings that I'm aware of in this life. I do have a stepsister, and although we love each other, we aren't super close. We just have different variations of lives, but we of course love each other and care about each other very much. But I in this life that I went back to as the first life, I had this very karmic relationship with a sibling that I had basically fucked over. And dared him to like go out into the woods by himself and get lost out there, where he got injured and ended up having to have his leg amputated. And then, where we were at the time, we were learning like as a career to make shoes, and it was really ironic that he only could ever wear one. And he just hated me for it. So yeah, I think there was some issues there of dealing with why he hated me, and yeah, just processing, I guess, that there are consequences for our actions, even if we don't think much of it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I mean, once we hit that second life, I was like, oh, great. Okay, fantastic. I know where we are. We've had the fragments. I've had this other session. Let's get into it. And straight away, like trying to catch Daniel up, and he's like, oh, right. Okay, yeah, I know where we are. Like, cool. Like, let's continue. And we got to the point where, we had all this backstory, which was great because I didn't have all this information prior. So I was considered a witch in this pagan German community because I was assisting women to have abortions, basically. And I was like a healer. So people would come to me being sick, and, I would, fix things with herbs and, roots and nature. And so, yeah, that wasn't like greatly looked at. People knew that I was doing this, but it was kind of like, she's an outcast. We just won't worry about her. And my sister in that life was actually married to the preacher of the community, which was not great, which was also Daniel's mother in that life. So, you know, being a preacher's son, he also had a lot of, yeah, you also had a lot of restrictions. But being my nephew and how close we were, you were like a student. So I was teaching you how to heal with nature and incorporate these things and not just be about quote unquote God. Like there are other things that, you know, are a play here. There is magic in the universe, that be open to it. So like that's what we bonded over a lot of the time. And when you fell sick, you had this plague. I say you, but it, you know, the boy. He when he fell sick with the plague, you know, my sister was just inconsolable and didn't know what to do. Praying was not helping, and it just, you know, was unfortunate. But she was like, right, okay, I'm going to turn to my sister. So she brings you to me in the middle of the night and is like, you know, we're not going to tell my husband about this. Just do what you need to do, like fix him. And I couldn't, there was nothing I could do nature wise. There was nothing I could do in this reality wise. Like it was literally, okay, I've heard about these rituals. I don't exactly know what's going to happen, but let's give it a go. So we gave it a go. We opened up this portal, and ahead of this, I was prepared. Like I knew there were risks. I knew there was stuff involved. So I did kind of try to protect myself. And coming into this agreement where it was, look, you know, we still need a soul. We need something. So it's, you know, you or him. I thought I'd be sneaky and try and, you know, counteract things. And so they only ended up getting half of my soul. And the other half was sort of incomplete. And they decided that they would try and inhabit the other half. So this is where things get woo-woo, guys. So
this is where they get woo-woo?
Well, I mean, more woo-woo.
Oh, we're way past that, yeah.
Yeah. Hang in there, guys. So I didn't have full control over my body all the time. So there were times where in the continuing months or years that the, I guess, foreign part of my soul that had tried to inhabit was stirring up some shit. They were trying to make people sick. They were trying to kill off crops. They were trying to, you know, poison water supplies and try and just, you know, cause havoc in the community. And sometimes I was not able to stop this because I didn't have full control. So there were times where I did have control and I would try and correct it, but it wasn't always possible and people were getting hurt. So I then approached my sister saying, hey, look, this needs to stop. I can't keep doing this. This is a risk for everybody. You need to go to your husband and tell him what I've done. That way they'll execute me as a witch. Off to the stake I'll go, like off to the fire. In a way to just really stop any more damage from what I had created. So I ended up going to the flames very willingly. And that was my plan. That was, okay, this is going to be it. This is going to be the end of it. Fuck, was I wrong? Once I had passed from this body, I ended up in like a limbo sort of state where these beings, these entities from another dimension were like, hey, you can't get rid of us that easy. You have a debt to pay. And now that you've tried to fuck with us, we're gonna add a few thousand souls to this list. You've got a debt. It's gonna be tough for you. And until this is done, you're not gonna be you again. You're not gonna be, your entire soul is not gonna be reunited. And I was like, great, fantastic, wonderful, fantastic, amazing. Anyways, we move on to my third life. And I find myself very high up in the Nazi command, operating gas chambers. So not only was I coming through with this life with this awareness, because of the distrust that these entities or beings had found in me, they decided, hey, you know, in your next life, you're not going back alone. We're going to send someone, and they're going to make sure that you know what path you're on. Yeah, so this, I guess, seance-y kind of woman who just really had this horrific vibe was very open to me and informative to me to really understand past lives in that incarnation, to know where I had been, to know what debt I had to pay. So although joining the Nazi programs, I, you know, was not the best person. And I was following orders, but there was also another agenda there. So apart from following orders and, you know, executing thousands and thousands of innocent people, there was also a debt that I was like, I'm fucking paying this off. Like, I'm done. And going into this life through the regression was really confronting. Like, I'm not going to lie, I got emotional. But at the same time, I had to have the understanding and acknowledgement that that is not who I am. I am not that person. And even in that point in time, I was not my full person. So, yeah, I guess we then went through to tear up the contracts that were made in these deals, and walking away from even my first regression and feeling just so much more connected to myself, that I knew why I'd felt like I belonged in a different time, that I was born too late, that I just was not where I was meant to be. All started to make more sense. And it was coming out of this life, this past life experience, that I went, okay, my debt's been paid. I've paid it 10 times over. You have no reason to continue fucking with me with every incarnation I come to. Like, I'm done. I've paid it. You, like, go. But, you know, they had kept this kind of understanding that, well, she doesn't remember, so we're just going to keep, like, interfering with each life that she has. And tearing up that contract was so just satisfying. And it was the first time I'd actually felt like a whole person. Like, my soul had actually been who I was in entirety, in completion, and restored. And it was so amazing to just go through that experience and realize why my life up until that point had been the way it had, why it all made sense, why I was feeling the way that I was. And then just feeling like I have the absolute ability to kick fucking ass. Like, like, I've got my whole soul back. I am in so much, you know, energy and power to really make change, make difference, and do everything that I hadn't done prior. That, you know, in those original first lives, in that original first experience that I had with you, you know, that I was lacking that confidence. I was lacking that assurity, like certainty, the ability to be myself and do what I know needed to be done and be on the path I was meant to be on, without fear of judgment, without fear of failure, without fear of, like execution. Yeah, it was just such an eye-opening experience.
Well, thank you for sharing.
So yes, that is why I'm now Auntie Elle.
That's Auntie Elle for you. And the irony of, this is horrible, I'm laughing about the irony of the gas chamber life. What was that her practitioner just happened to be Jewish.
Right? Oh my gosh. I came out of that session and I was like, oh my God, you're Jewish. I am so sorry.
The good thing is, though, that she's very graciously said then when she comes to Los Angeles, she's going to get me frozen yogurt. So all is good. I mean, granted, I didn't really, it didn't bother me at all because as I said to Elle after that, that's who you were. It's not who you are now.
Exactly.
And then I also shared with her how I've done sessions with people who are Jewish in this life, in this current incarnation, who have seen themselves as Nazis in past lives. So it happens. And the only person I saw in front of me was Elle. I didn't care about what she did to people of my religion because it wasn't her. It was just, as Leanne Rose put it, it's just sauce having its own experience. You know, another fragment of sauce. And boy, she's really going to love all of these shout outs that I've given her.
Oh, gosh.
And then the Galila collector's going to be like, why isn't he quoting us?
Yeah.
Well, I quote you guys with the horseshit answers. But that's all that it was.
Leanne
right?
has great advice just being Leanne. So.
Yeah. It was an experience. It was a life that Elle lived. And that's what it was. She a Nazi piece of shit? Yeah. But I've done fucked up things in past lives too. It doesn't have any bearing on who I am now other than the fact that I'm doing my best, I'd say subconsciously and consciously to a certain extent, to just do better.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. It doesn't matter what I did. It doesn't matter what Elle did. I don't care. I care about who she is now.
And I think that those experiences, those past lives are a huge part of the reason why, you know, I'm so, like, my message for my podcast is so into just, you're not alone. You have support. Because for so long, I felt like I was alone. I felt like I couldn't be who I needed to be. I felt like I couldn't be open about my abilities. I felt like I wasn't a complete person for my entire life. And just coming out of there and feeling, you know what? I'm not alone. I am myself. I can be myself. And I want to support other people through this. I want to support other people through this journey. I want to do it together. I want us to really feel that nurturing essence of what your higher self makes you feel. Like, they can chew your ass out and still come back and be like, but we love you and we support you. So I guess, just trying to embody that now for, you know, my career, my family, my friends, my fellow practitioners, my clients, like everything. It just wouldn't be that way without those experiences.
So people who are now going to be listening to Elle's podcast, catching up on her podcast, who I've now lost because you're with Elle now. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And
thank you for having me.
No, I wasn't thanking you. I was thanking the people who are now going to go with you, who are going to leave Timeless Spirit. Maybe they'll find the way back here at some point.
Oh, they definitely will. Because I mean, you know, you're going to be on so many episodes of mine. So,
I mean, thank you now to Elle. Thank you for trading your life for mine in the past life multiple times, because that wasn't the only time.
Yeah, apparently.
And thank you for being Auntie Elle to me in this life, even though I'm 10 years older than you are.
Not quite.
Not quite. Yeah. Well, that's like when you said Goosebumps earlier. Goosebumps? Wait, was that still around when she was growing up?
Yeah.
I guess so, because Goosebumps started when I was a kid.
Yeah, you're only like 6
really
or 7
cool
years
covers.
older than me, but it's like, I don't know.
Am
sometimes
I?
you just,
How old do you think I am?
Sometimes you just feel like you're like, I don't know, like 20 years older than me, but you're not.
Is it the gray?
I think it's the gray. Yeah.
It can be very deceiving.
I mean, I have, don't tell anyone, but I have gray, but I, hide it. I cover it. I change it.
Well, I started going gray at 25. I had my first couple grays. I'll never forget it. It was in, I believe it was December of 20. Well, I'm now really when I was know how old. Well, I mean, I tell everyone how old I'm in all the time anyways. It was December of 2011. And I saw my first gray. I'm like, that's fucking cool. At least I'm not going bald.
That's the same as my husband. Like, Michael's the exact same way. He's like, I'm going to be the sexiest silver fox out, and you're going to love it. So whatever, I don't care.
No, I have no problem with it. I've never dyed my hair. I mean, I dyed my hair before I started going gray. Well, because I mean, I was a teenager growing up around the time of boy bands. That's what we did. I was a teenager growing up with Eminem. We bleached our hair.
Yeah, Slim Shady.
There's Slim Shady in all of us. I hope everyone gets that reference. So yeah, I mean, but now I'm like, I own it. Great works.
See, I still like being able to, be approaching 30 and still look like I'm 16. So, I love
younger than your kids.
Yes, I love it when people go, "Wait, you have a son in high school?" And I was like, "Yeah, like he's 13." And they're like, "How the fuck old are you?" I was like, "Oh, don't worry. I was a young mom. I started at 16. It's fine. Like, it's all good."
Well, this was fun. I mean, thank you so much for coming on and being here with me for as long as you have and having such an insightful conversation. And of course, at the forefront of my mind is giving me all this extra stuff to edit. But you can understand it because that's what's cool about having you as a podcaster now is you get it.
Yeah.
Because every minute of recording is like an extra 10, 15 minutes of editing.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't think anyone understands what goes into editing. If you care. That's if you care. If you don't care, there's nothing that goes into editing. Right.
Like, I don't envy you, but also I'm like, haha, you've joined my party because I did a recording with someone yesterday that was like roughly the same time. And I was like, it's going to be a process. So, misery loves company. You're welcome.
So here's the good thing about this being a very long recording, though, is maybe timing wise, it's going to be long, but editing wise, it's not going to be as grueling for me because Elle has a good mic and she's in a soundproof room. So most of my editing comes in the form of trying to get rid of background noises. And I'm not going to have to worry about much of that with Elle. So there's not going to be a ton to do on that side, but I do a couple passes of each episode. So I figure at this point in recording, I don't know how long it's going to be at this point, but we're approaching 2 hours and 8 minutes. So that's at least 2 or 3 passes of over 2 hours of listening time, not including editing time.
Yeah.
So,
you'll be completely sick of my voice by the end of it.
Probably. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, I appreciate you, but I cannot speak to you for at least 6 months.
Yeah, it's something like that. Then you're like, well, you can't come on my podcast then for the next. Oh, I can listen to you. I'm fine listening to you. I'm not that vain. So, I mean, thank you for coming on. And where can everyone reach you?
Thank you for having me. Well, I mean, everyone can find me on Instagram at Elle.Embers.
And that's a dot like a period.
Accent. So that everyone knows I can pronounce my R's.
Can you do it in the American accent?
Elle Embers.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
So Elle.Embers on Instagram. And her podcast is Cosmic Curiosities. And anywhere else I can find you?
I have a website, so elleembers.com.
Thanks, Elle. And thanks everyone for sticking around.
Yeah.
Fellow time travelers, your journey through time awaits you. Just want to thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. And if you're interested in discovering who, when, and where you have been throughout time, and you'd like to book a session with me, just go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist, or you can reach me through my website, yourpastliferegressionist.com.